YouTube, Big Fat Stack here. So, contest for Gathman0220. I believe that's the end of it. Mike, I don't know if this counts. So, I've only been to a Mariners game twice in Seattle. And that has nothing to do with what I'm going to tell you guys. But that's the only two sporting events I've ever been to, and a Blazer game once. So, and that Blazer game was a couple... Like, my boss bought us family tickets like a year ago. So I'm rambling already. Sporting event. The Columbia Gorge Amateur. I live in the Columbia Gorge in the Pacific Northwest. The Columbia Gorge Amateur is a golf tournament. And the most memorable thing that ever happened was that tournament 2 years back to back. So I was there both times. I participated both times. So, it's kind of a two-part thing, but, so, in 1996, I played in this golf tournament. I'm a huge golfer. I love golf. I've played since I was 6 years old. So, I really just enjoyed the sport so much. With my knee effed up right now, it sucks. So, in 96, my dad, I played golf with my dad since I was little. In 96, we both entered the tournament, and that year, he finished first, and I finished right behind him in second. So he got the trophy that year, and so that's the part one of that, and it was awesome. He beat me by like 3 strokes. And he shot a 70, I think it was a 74. I shot 77 that year. So, pretty, he let me have it for quite a while. And, so, the very next year, we all, my buddies and I and my dad, everybody enters. And it's a once-a-year thing. And, so, we're coming down. We started on... What hole was it? So, number 5 was our finishing hole, and it's a par 5. It's 537 yards. So, I just smoked a driver, and I probably had, 200 yards to the hole. So, I hit a 5-iron, and I spray it. I spray it. It goes way right over onto the 6th tee box, and there is no possible way that I think I was 4 over at the time. I was 4 over at the time. So it was our last hole, par 5. I'm like, man, I got to eagle this. I got to birdie it to, get in the top 5. And so I walk over to the tee box, and there's trees all the way blocking the green on the other side. So I hit a 60-degree sand wedge. My buddy's thinking I'm going through the trees. I hit a 60-degree sand wedge up and over these trees, and I barely made it on the green. So I have like a, 50-footer, and it's a snake, and it broke left then right. And so I'm sitting there, and my buddies are razzing me and just giving me a hard time. There's 2 of my buddies I was playing with. It was crazy. They drew us all, and then some random guy I'd never played with. And so my buddy's like, you got to make this to, even come close to the top 5. And I was like, yeah, I know, I'm 4 over. There was a lot of good players that next year. So I hit it, and lo and behold, nailed it. Nothing but the bottom of the cup. It was center cut the whole way. It was weird. Snake, center cut. Nothing but the bottom of the cup. So if you ever get a chance, anybody goes play golf with me, I am ridiculously animated. It's ridiculous. So we're walking in. So I shoot 3 over. So I was stoked. I'm like, oh, well, top 5. I'm thinking top 5 because there was a couple head pros that ended up playing in the amateur just for fun, and they couldn't win the tournament or anything, but I just really wanted, to be in the top 5 to show them, hey, I was very into golf then. Still am. I'm just probably about an 8 handicap now. So, so we're walking in, and everybody's like, "Hey, what'd you shoot? What'd you shoot?" And I didn't say nothing. I just went over. They posted the score. So I ended up shooting 75. And it was funny because we were the last group in, because the number 5 was a ways. It was probably the furthest point from the clubhouse. So we're walking in. We're walking closer and closer, and I see all these 76s. There was like 6 76s, and they were waiting for our group. And I walked up, and I ended up shooting a 75 to win it by 1 with about a 50-55 footer on my 18th hole. And there was only 4 of us to see it, but that was my most memorable sports moment that I attended. I don't know if that counts, but I have the trophy. It's packed away. I don't even know why I don't have it in here. I'm going to try to go get it tonight. It's in the garage, packed away, and I'll break it out, and I actually should put it up there. So, really memorable, just because my dad won it the year before. The very next year, I won it. My dad ended up shooting an 83 that day, so I got him bad. But it was just means a lot. I actually cried because golf was a big part of my life. I was actually that close to being a teaching pro, and man, it was like 8 years ago. I took my PAT test and I missed it by 5 strokes, man. So it's kind of hard to go through all that stuff again, but you know, if I ever get a chance to do it again, I would. And I would love to become a teaching pro, of course. I've always helped out the junior leagues around here, and it's just such a fun sport. It's a lifelong sport, and I hope you guys enjoyed my story. I know I just ramble on my videos, but Mike, thanks for the contest, and I hope this counts. So, as always, YouTube, Piff, pay it forward.